Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of Katawa Shoujo. I am Burning Oil, and a couple of you are a little bit mad because I left it out as such a cliffhanger, but I'm sorry, but that's the way the storytelling goes. Cliffhangers are fun, okay? I have none of this. I'm kidding. I know it was kind of a dick move, but it did, we were running really late, and I had to cut it at one point, and that seemed like the best moment. But you got to see it the next day. It's fine. You can see right now. You want me to play? I should play. I should probably play. See who called my name. Maybe. Anyway, I think we all know what's going to happen, or rather, we know what happened. If you guys are really into this series, let's get straight back into it, shall we? So, it's called The Day After, yeah. So, yeah. Let's get this. Is this ticking? No. Okay. The Day After. Yes. Yes. So, I don't know whose voice is this in. So, Hisao? Hisao, are you? The soft, barely audible voice lingering in my ears slowly wakes me. I wish I could be awoken like this more often. Oh, was it Lily? I did the completely wrong voice. With a mumble, I slowly opened my... Whoa, Taken by surprise at the face hovering curiously mere millimeters from mine, I make our heads collide with a harsh thud. The impact of our foreheads causes both of us to fall backwards and yelp in pain. Lily sounded more like a squeak toy than a person. That's really fucking adorable. Ow, ow, ow. I slowly rub my forehead with one hand, support myself with the other. Lily lies a few feet away, just doing the same. Her face obviously pained. Sorry, your face was kind of close and I acted on reflex. Are you okay? My head. It seems like she's not actually okay. Come to think of it, I doubt that the impact alone is what's causing her head so much pain. Hangover? You drank a fair bit last night. She silently nods in confirmation as I lever myself up. They like that lever word. I offer a hand to her and help her back onto her feet. Glancing behind her, I find that Hanako's still fast asleep. Goddamn girl! Look at them shots! Oh goddamn! It's not fair. I only drank as much as you did. That's very different from what I remember. And anyway, girls have a lower tolerance than men. That doesn't help. Fine, I'll get you a glass of water. Just be careful not to trip over Hanako. I rub the sleep out of my eyes, or at least some of it, as I walk to the counter, tending to someone with a hangover isn't the way I like to spend a morning. It only takes a few seconds for the glass to fill. The clear water reflecting the silver of light that makes it through the thin curtains. It looks like Lily's taken a seat on the side of the bed. I walk over to her while taking care to step over the peacefully sleeping Hanako and place the glass into her outstretched hands. Thank you. No problem. I take a seat next to her, the soft bed having a surprising amount of give. She drinks slowly and methodically. A long silence passes with only Hanako's soft breathing to be heard. With some measure of guilt, I look at Lily's face and attempt to read her expression. Her brow is furrowed and she looks to be lost in thought. For a moment I hesitate, but eventually place a hand on her shoulder in an attempt to reassure her. I didn't expect her to flinch rather noticeably at that, though. Sorry, I didn't mean to... Lily quickly shakes her head in a manner somewhat more violent than usual. She takes a long breath to steady herself before letting her head sink. I must look terrible right now. I move to protest, but quickly realize that it would be futile to do so. That said, I want her to open up more. You look beautiful, Lily. You look just dandy. If you want to talk about anything, I'm here. Lily gives a self-deprecating snort, as if to mock her own emotions. There's just a lot happening right now. I'm sorry for being so strange recently, especially back when we were in town. Even now I'm a bit confused about everything. Believe me, I know how that feels. She smiles wistfully, resting her cheek on the backs of her fingers. We're a couple of broken young fools, aren't we? I've seen couple, and I just hesitated. I was like, we're a couple now. I was like, oh god. That went really fast. Come on, don't say that. come graduation, we'll be back out into the real world. The real world? Sometimes I surprise myself with the way I think about things. I guess the strange divorce feeling of Yamaku and the surrounding town compared to the outside world still hasn't become natural. Maybe it never will. It's strange, in hindsight. Being isolated from society like this doesn't feel as bad as it probably should. A wry grin on her face. Lily seems to share the same sense of amusement at the idea. Eventually, though, her smile drops. I'll be going back to Scotland for a week or two soon. Is that why we had to reschedule Haneko's birthday party? She gives an affirmative nod. You'll be able to see your family again, at least. You're not looking forward to it? I haven't met my family in 6 years. I don't even know how to act around them anymore. Wait, what? My mouth hangs open as I try to process what she said. If she's 18, that means she'd have only been 12 when they left. I may have seen very little of my parents, what with them both working long hours, but that's... I feel utterly useless as I struggle to find some way to respond. But why? Why did they leave? Or why are they inviting Akira and me back? Both, I suppose. My father's business has its headquarters in Scotland, and an executive position became available for him there. In the end, he had to move permanently. My mother followed him, but Akira and I stayed in Japan for the sake of both Akira's job within the Japanese branch of my father's company and my education. As for the latter, one of my aunts is gravely sick. I knew it. I knew something was wrong. I'm sorry. Don't be. It feels strange, really. We're being summoned there for her, yet we've barely met before. I can't even remember the sound of her voice. Equally strange is the total lack of antipathy she feels towards her family for doing such a thing. I can't help feeling slightly humbled. That said, her wistful exterior is just hiding her emotions. Seeing her like this is depressing. Knowing what to do, I lift myself off the bed. Lily notices the bed movements, her head perking up and her hand reaching sideways to feel where I was. Hisao? I walk over to my bag, still leaning against the wall, unbuckling the front flap and retrieving the opaque bag from within. It's the music box! I take the small plain box in my hands. Hold your hands out, Lily. She looks surprised for a moment, but eventually acquiesces. I'm amused by her look of curiosity when I place the music box into her open palms, her typically delicate way of handling it making it seem as if it were fragile enough to break if breathed on. She wordlessly brings it in front of her face, her slender fingers feeling out its contours and patterning. Eventually her fingers find the recessed line between the lid and the body of the box, and her thumb effortlessly pops open the lid. I take a seat on the bed next to her, watching her face silently and intently. She sits completely motionless as she listens to the diminutive, tinny melody, her mouth just slightly open. It takes a long while before she closes the lid with a small snap, bringing the curtain down on the miniature performance playing in her hands. The smile on her face, gentle and wistful, shows that I made the right decision. Think of it as a going-away present for your trip to Scotland. I will. A restful shuffling can be heard from the floor in front of us, the sound having woken Hanako. Aww. She climbs out of the blankets I put over her, looking befuddled and wiping the sleep from her eyes. I see you're finally up. What? Hanako looks around the room with her eyes only half open, her mind far from being as awake as her body. Her dazed state makes me and Lily chuckle. As Lily gets off the bed and turns to Hanako, I take one last look around the room. I guess I better get going then. There'll be questions if I'm seen leaving the girls' dormitories in the morning. Goodbye, Hisao. Goodbye. No, I want to stay. I stand and walk to the door, picking up my somewhat lighter bag along the way. God damn it. After I leave the room and enter the hallway, though, I hear Lily's footsteps behind me. She's gonna kiss. What's wrong? Without a word, she strides up to me. I freeze as I feel her hand slide onto my cheek, seemingly every nerve taken in the feeling of her fingers and palm upon it. Immediately after, her face slowly moves next to mine, a light, momentary touch of her lips brushing against my other cheek. For a moment, everything seems to stand still. I absent-mindedly bring my fingers to my cheek, as if to try and recapture the fleeting feeling. Lily? That's my thank you, Hisao. Thank you? For your present. Have a nice day in school. Oh. And with that, she disappears behind her door and gently closes it. The muffled voices of her and Hanako audible through it much as they were yesterday night. I think I'd be hard-pressed not to have a nice day after that. Yeah. I walk away with a certain spring to my step. I think there were some people around that glanced at me emerging from the girls' dormitory building, but I find it difficult to care. You damn right, girl. You got your face kissed. You good little boy. You good boy. Hisao. I can't remember her bloody name still. Hichan. Go away. Hichan. Leave me alone. Come on, Hichan. Let me sleep. After 2 nights of not being able to sleep at all, the last thing I want is to be woken when I finally manage to. Maybe the last period of class with a textbook as my pillow, but I'll take whatever sleep I can get by this point. See, Hichan, even Shichan wants you to get up. I don't care what Shizune wants. Leave me alone. Jeez, Hichan, I'll just have to wait. Wait, Misha's going to wake you? This is bad. I'm up. You don't have to. What do you mean? What was she gonna do? I can feel my face flowering into a scarlet red blush. The students still in class are sitting bolt upright and staring at the shouting fool who was sleeping just moments before. Damn it! I let my head smack back down on the table with a noticeable thud. Misha's trademark uncontrolled laughter reverberates through the classroom. As I turn my mournful eyes to the bespectable Shizune beside her, she carefully adjusts her glasses, desperately trying to maintain a look of serious disapproval. Narrowing my eyes, I can see the badly hidden grin spreading across her face. Is that badly hidden? I don't think it's badly hidden to me. Etu, Shizune? Shizune looks away quickly. That means and you, Shizune, right? Looks away quickly as she crosses her arms tightly, barely on the edge of her control. Misha's laughter doubles in volume and she glances at Shizune. All I can do is drag my hand down my face in resignation. You two. Who was the one who slept in class, Hichan? Yeah, it was me. Poor Shichan was having a fit trying to wake you up, weren't you? I move my eyes back to the standoffish Shizune, who, with a single huff of confirmation, returns to looking away with her arms crossed. Why was Shizune trying to wake me up? Shichan wanted to give you the handouts the substitute teacher gave out while Hichan was sleeping. Handouts? I suddenly find 2 sheets of paper thrust down in front of my face. Following the hand holding them, I see the still pouting figure looking down at me with a distinct scowl. I guess I really am in the wrong here. Sorry about that. No dice. Her irritated face still holds. I clasp my hands together and flick my head downwards in apology. Very, very sorry. She huffs and simply drops the papers on the desk. Oops. My bad. Damn. I look up over my hands to see Shizune and Misha signing frantically to each other, a look of frustration on Shizune's face. It looks to be less of a dialogue and more of a tirade, punctuated with sidelong glances at me. To say it's unsettling is an understatement. The two suddenly stop signing and look at me in unison, both with exactly the same look of disapproval. In one fluid motion, Misha's hand suddenly extends high above me and comes rocketing down. Before I can even hope to react, my head is sent bouncing up and down like a jack. What the fuck? You can't just be hitting me? I quickly bring my hands to my head, more out of reflex than actual pain. Ow, what was that for? You get a slap back from me, bitch. It's like you don't be hitting my head. Like, if somebody's tired, I mean, obviously I won't hit him back. Right, but oh my god, would I report that? Holy shit. Right, that's ridiculous. Open my eyes to see the two grinning at each other while exchanging an enthusiastic thumbs up. No, you dickheads. You shouldn't be feeling good about hitting somebody. Shichan says she forgives you now, Hichan. Oh, because you hit somebody? Because of violence? Oh my... I dislike these people more and more. Could you forgive me with a little less force next time? I'm not even gonna laugh. I'm mad. I'm so mad at them. I look at the two with a blank face, Misha and Suzune. I look at the two with a blank face, Misha and Suzune 1, Hisao 0. Is this competition? I didn't realize there was a competition happening. Shi-chan always says that you should check your student mail more often. Oh yeah. She produces a bright yellow envelope and hands it over with an exuberant grin. Exuberant. Strange. Who could have written me a letter? Now is not the time, and most definite not the place to find out, though. Giving up on the nap so cruelly stolen from me, I rub my forehead and slowly get up, putting the sheets and envelope in my bag before swinging it over my shoulder. I take a step back and move to depart with a small bow, while Misha clutches her sides laughing and Shizune nods back in a curt farewell. This is not cool, right? If girls do this to you, right? If girls ever do this to you, right? It is not okay. It is not okay for this to happen. They should not be hitting you. If they hit you, you go to the freaking teacher, okay? Or you go to your learner or your, I don't know, whoever you need to go to, right? Because that is domestic abuse. Showing affection by hitting somebody, that's not affection. It's not endearing either. To keep going on about this. I join the flow students, exit in the open door, and turn the corner into the hallway, only to end up face to face with Hanako. Whoa, hey Hanako. Good afternoon, Hisao. Silence falls between us as busy chatting students passes by. She's fidgeting constantly, her eyes drawn to her rather unremarkable footwear. I take the bridge of my nose in my fingers while I blink my eyes heavily in an attempt to make things seem clearer. I'm barely staying awake as it is. That's funny. Since we just did a massive yawn. Hanako, you want to say something? What is it? I wanted to give you this. She holds out a small rectangular piece of paper. I blink again to make out the text through barely open eyes, slowly starting to make out what's written. Eggs 2, bread loaf 1, whole grain cereal 1, time 1. A shopping list? I look upwards, raising an eyebrow. I usually go shopping with Lily, but I can't come, so... You want me to run errands for you? It's okay if you don't want to. I just thought that maybe, She's panicking. I sigh. Yet another battle lost, though this time by a weakly fought surrender. I smiled tiredly, and rest a hand on her head to calm her down. It's fine. I was going to go anyway. Just the stuff on this list? She nods, then bows deeply twice, as if to make her gratitude perfectly clear. We were going to meet outside the school's gates at 6. Thank you. I was going to get it, but I need to study for the test tomorrow. Test? Oh, that's right, science. How are you doing with it? She brightens ever so slightly. I've been improving, spending more time on it than before. I think I can do okay. Good work, then. She too starts smiling, and much more earnestly than I at that. I have full confidence that I can do fine in it without any extra studying, but the fact that she's putting in the effort instead of just reading in the library is heartening. I'll grab your stuff and I'll take it to your dorm in the evening. See ya. With a small wave, we part ways. I'll go do my homework before meeting Lily. I should be able to take care of it in time. Lily hasn't gone. Oh, excellent. Wrangling a particularly complicated math problem has caused me to be a little bit late for my meeting with Lily. Oh. Only a couple of minutes, but enough to make me step smartly out into the courtyard and to the school gate. I make a right turn and start my way towards the small town below, leaving us a few students turning the other way to the bus station. I slip my right hand into my pocket as I walk in the orange sunlight of dusk. Thankfully, the sweltering summer's heat started to die down, making way for a pleasant cool breeze. When I stretch my hands high above my head, a familiar figure takes form, cane in her right hand. Ah, Lily! She stops and turns around, swiveling her head slightly to try and work out exactly where the voice came from. Hey, it's me! I quickly catch up to her, coming in beside her and matching her slow pace as we resume walking. Good afternoon, Hisao. Hi there. I glance up at the sky. A distinct tinge of orange discolors the clouds, washing the footpath in its light. Long shadows from the trees fall across the wide road down the hill. So, Hisao, what brings you here? Just going to town to grab some groceries. Hanako sent me. Hanako sent you? Oh, Hanako, you freaking bomb. I love you. Yeah, said she needed to study for test tomorrow. I was going to come down anyway, so I'll just buy her stuff as well. Unspoken is that Lily really could use some help to get food, but it's an obvious fact that neither of us needs to stay. It's good to hear that she's studying for it. I thought the same thing when she asked me to come with you. We continue walking down the street, the familiar sound of her cane echoing through the air as we go, except for the occasional passing car and the leaves whispering in the branches. There's a blissful silence. Thank God I can finally relax for the first time today. I glance over at Lily. Oh, we're getting closer. That porcelain face of hers never seems to lack that air of relaxed confidence. I guess the same could be said of her personality too. As she silently walks, her face remaining pointed to the street ahead of her, I look ahead and savour the cool air blowing over my face. This is probably the calmest moment I've had since the about face my life took so recently. To have it while walking to get some groceries. What a weird life. I feel the crumpled up note rubbing against my hand in my pocket and pull it out to check its contents. Let's see here. Eggs, bread, cereal, thyme, lettuce, shaved ham. That sounds like quite a bit to carry back along with your own. Yeah, just how much does this girl eat anyway? My mind suddenly clicks that yes, there actually is a person behind me. Wait, I mean... She laughs wholeheartedly. My Hisao. Her giggles punctuate her words, though she makes little effort to suppress them. Quite direct today, aren't we? Yeah, you got me there. Still, it is quite a bit. Usually I go shopping with Hanako, so I know what she buys. It's the same thing every week. Huh, she a good cook? She gives a nervous giggle. It's usually me who ends up cooking. I used to do so for Akira, so it's no problem doing it for Hanako as well. You can cook, but... A short hum with an amused lilt emanates from beside me. I wonder if the fact that she seems amused by my comments so often is actually... I wonder if the fact that she seems amused by my comments so often is actually genuine, or rather just from a want to make me more comfortable in addressing her blindness. There are ways around it. Some meals are more difficult to cook than others because of being able to see what I'm doing, but it usually takes a little more time. Fingers can double as very useful measurement tools, for example. It makes sense, but she'd have to be pretty careful not to hurt herself. I wonder how many times that's happened, given that it sounds like she's cooked alone for possibly years, while Akira worked and her parents were gone. With that, the conversation trails off. Compared to the awkward silences of Hanako, Lily seems genuinely content to say what she thinks and stay quiet when there's nothing to say. The slick road under my feet is bathed in an orange glow, the occasional fallen leaf crunching underfoot as we walk. I let out a deep yawn, my lack of sleep coming back to haunt me. Did you not get much sleep last night? I couldn't sleep at all for the last 2 nights, probably insomnia. Lily's face suddenly becomes worried. It feels like a personal failure every time she gets worried about my well-being, even if it's genuinely nice to know someone cares. You have insomnia? Are you going to see the nurse about it? Nah, no real need, really. It's happened before a few times. My meds screw on my sleeping occasionally. I'm sorry. Come on, it's not your fault. At least I shouldn't have any trouble getting to sleep tonight. You do worry me sometimes. I worry you? I reach around and scratch the back of my neck. I kind of want to address this. Hey, Lily. I don't mean to sound weird, but please try to forget about my heart condition. She looks kind of lost. I hardly blame her. I guess what I'm trying to get at is just don't treat me differently because of it. She bows her head slightly, her white cheeks reddening almost imperceptibly. It's only natural to worry about those around you. It is. And it's okay, Lily. Well, it's nice to know that there's someone like that out there. It may be somewhat embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. Lily takes a breath to regain her composure and manages a gentle smile through her cheeks, though her cheeks remain flushed. The final downhill walk to the store passes in silence. Welcome! I suppose I'll get my stuff first and Hanako's in the second round. I grab 2 well-worn red baskets from the stack beside the entrance and pass one to Lily. Just as she did before, she lays on the ground and slides her retracted cane between the basket's handles before picking it back up with her right hand. When she takes hold of my arm in her own, I'm surprised at just how fast this kind of casual contact became so natural, mostly due to necessity, no doubt. Shall we? Sure. While we navigate around the store, the odd person occasionally passing us pays us no heed at all. It's nice compared to the stares and whispers around the city. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily what she needs and grab it along with what I want, putting our items into their respective baskets. It's an odd feeling, to be depended on so much for something so basic as shopping. Hanako would be practically a necessity for her to pick out what she wants after all. Right, I'm pretty much done with both my stuff and Hanako's. You need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. Oddly, there's a queue a mile long, considering the store's only large enough to warrant one counter. Seems like it'll take a while. Damn. Lily gives an inquisitive look, unable to see the reason for my complaint. The queue's really long. It looks like we'll have to wait. How strange. Sharing the same mood of resignation, we reluctantly take our place at the end of the line. One person finishes, the line moves up. Another person finishes, the line moves up. By the time we finally reach the head of the line, I'm so close to dozing off that Lily has to gently pat me on the back for me to move up. Hisao. Oh, sorry. She gives a short sigh of consternation as I move up, getting the groceries for Hanako and put them into the separate bags. Thank you, please come again. By the time we emerge from the store, Lily's holding a single bag while I struggle to carry 4. Both hands well and truly full. It's a lot of work, but thankfully the items in them are light. Even without looking skyward, it's obvious that a surprising amount of time's passed, the road outside being dark and lit by street lamps. Once Lily retrieves her cane, we set out back to the dormitories the way we came, leaving the welcoming, warm glow of the store. Despite the road being empty of cars, the full bags abundantly make up for the lack of noise, constantly clunking and squeaking together. My, Hisao, it's good to find that you're eating well. I'm a grown guy after all. I need to eat all I can. It must be nice, being a man. What? Seemingly not noticing or ignoring my surprise at the completely out-of-left-field comment, she continues on without a beat. Weight doesn't really bother you when eating, most of the time. Oh, it does. I get what you mean. Women tend to worry about stuff like that more than we do, I guess. Exactly, and it makes me somewhat envious, to be honest. Well, it's not like we can outright ignore it. With an affirmative nod, we continue on our walk. That's right. What is it? Hanako mentioned your birthday was earlier this year. Do anything special for it? She gives a long pause, lost in thought for a few seconds as she recalls the event. Not really. It was just Hanako and me having a little party during the night after school. Your birthday's supposed to be a big event, you know. Sounds like a pretty lonely way to spend a birthday, just her and Hanako staying overnight. Birthdays always felt like a family occasion for me. They were a time when, in spite of their full-time jobs, both my parents would make an effort to be there for the day, or at least for a pie beforehand. It reminds me of how Lily mentions she hadn't seen her family in such a long time, and even ended up moving away from Akira's house afterwards. But I guess it's the same in situations as mundane as these. Considering her inability to read the packaging, just getting groceries would be a pain without somebody else around. In the end, she just has Hanako and me, and Akira when she's off from work. Be that as it may, she still seems to have many more distant friends among the students, not to mention people like Yuko. It seems to be her own choice that there's such a separation between those who are close to her and those she only socializes with. It humbles me a little to see how much Lily seems to have her life set up and going just as she wants. Yet Hanako is there for her to celebrate her birthday, and I'm here helping her with shopping. It's weird. It's a weird kind of symbiosis, I suppose. Are you alright, Hisao? Sorry? You just seem to go very quiet, that's all. Sorry, I was just thinking. Oh? Now I've piqued her curiosity. It feels kind of overly personal to talk about, though. Tell the truth, avoid the subject. I don't want to avoid, I want to be honest. Because she kind of likes my honesty, so... It was kind of... I was thinking about how you seem to have everything so sorted out, even with Hanako relying on you. I can admit that even I kind of relied on you when I first transferred in. I think it's a good quality to have. I turned to Lily, surveying her reaction. She's forcing herself to look forward and furrowing her brow quite a bit. Her face looks a bit awkward, as if she's trying to find just the right words. Lily? I would thank you, but assuming that I don't rely on the presence of others is too much. You'd be wrong to think that Hanako simply depends on me without nothing in return. She seems to have quite a bit of trouble saying it, even though it's largely what I thought already. If she's tried so hard to maintain her independence, as anyone would have had to in her position, cited or not, maybe she finds it hard to talk about her own needs. It's only now that I realise an omission in what she says, though, I decide to follow it up, largely in jest, to avoid things getting too personal. Oh, what about me? She suddenly runs ahead of me and turns, blocking me off. With a smile, she holds her hands behind her as she leans forward. You're different. With that, she turns back and continues to walk ahead of me, a newfound spring in her step. All I can do is raise an eyebrow and give a dazed grin. I don't think I've ever seen this playful and teasing side of her before. So, I'm different. It's hard to work out the exact context, but knowing her, this ambiguity was intended. Our relationship has been changing, at the very least simply because I've begun to stand on my own feet more, and started getting more serious about the situation of those around me. As to why, probably a mix of personal curiosity, and a want to try and work out how to deal with my situation. I'm less sure of Lily though, that's why her own statement, so similar to my own feelings towards her, throws me off so much. Watching her make her way up the street, cane tapping from left to right, I decide to settle the matter later, and just smile. This is a nice side to her, and I don't want to forget it. Oh God, she's going to die tomorrow, isn't it? I just think something bad's going to happen. Eventually we get to the girls' dormitories, both my arms aching from the weight of the 2 bags of groceries. We're finally here. Phew! I bend down to wipe my forehead with the back of my hand. Lily stops in front of her door and sets down a bag, fishing around in her pocket for the key. Thank you, Sal. I really appreciate your help. That's nothing. It might be nothing to you, but it's definitely something to me. And with that, she steps through her door, closing it behind her. Whoa. I blink. Those were nothing but honest thanks, but I can't help feeling something different about them. Yeah. Anyway, I have something else to do before I can mull on that at my leisure. I turn back to the door to Hanako's room and proceed to knock twice in quick succession, the bag still in my hand rustling together. After a couple of seconds, the door slowly opens. If one weren't looking closely, they could be forgiven for thinking it hadn't moved at all. I twist my head to the side to try and peer through the tiny sliver of a gap between the door and the doorframe. Hey, Hanako, I've got your stuff. Ah! With that, she opens the door completely, making a plain room visible over her shoulder. Sparsely decorated, it's probably even more unremarkable than my room. I hand out my right arm, both bags almost pulling it straight back down with their weight. Thank you, Hisao. I'm sorry to make you carry them all this way. It's fine, don't worry about it. Just don't make me do it every day, okay? I pass the bags to her as I give a light-hearted chuckle. After the initial transfer of weight, she manages to take them easily. I'll be off then. Night, Hanako. Good night. See you in class tomorrow? With a deep bow, her groceries still held in both hands, she steps back and shuts the door. Making my way back to my own dorm, I put one bag into my other hand to balance them out. Even as I do so, I can't get Lily's light-hearted smile out of my mind. When I'd first met her, it would have been nearly impossible to imagine her like that. Indeed, it feels like we've become closer in the past few weeks since I first got to know both her and Hanako. The time that I spent with her each day, the small exchanges of happiness we share, those small moments of joy as I get closer to her. I'm far from certain, but I don't think these are just the normal feelings of friendship. Oh my God. Hickey dowie dowie dow. Are you kidding me? Once I return to my room, I store away my groceries and begin getting ready for the night. I swap the school books in my bag for those I'll need tomorrow, pulling out the yellow envelope Misha gave me earlier. In the process, I got so sidetracked by one thing after another that I couldn't deal with it earlier. Who could have written me, I wonder? The name neatly adorning the back of the envelope freezes me on tracks. It's been so long since I've seen her writing. There's little chance I could have identified it as hers otherwise. I think we know who this is, but we're going to have to end because I am 5 minutes over time. Oh my goodness. So we got kissed today by her. We went shopping for Hanako. I thought something was going to happen on the walk back. I feel like she's gone distant with us because she just shut the door behind us. I thought there was something going to happen there. Maybe our choice to say the truth isn't one she wanted to hear. But I mean, that's what I would have done. So anyway, guys, this has been episode 13 of Katawa Shoujo. If you have any negative or positive comments to make to me so I can help improve these videos, please let me know. If you have any recommendations for visual novels, please also let me know so I can work on them, and because it seems to be what we're doing right now, and I'm starting to enjoy doing them as well. Please, if you enjoy the videos, please give them a like, please comment, share them, so they can get out there, which helps me do more. And I'll see you tomorrow, guys, for episode 14. I was out. Bye.